Yay. The meeting that never happened. Who's here in the meeting? Just one immortal being. Just one. Just beingness. Pure being. One consciousness. Experiencing. One consciousness. Dreaming. Dreaming itself to be characters talking to itself. And just like the dream at night, did it happen? When you wake up from the dream and you examine the dream, there weren't really separate characters in the dream. You realize it was all a projection of my mind. All there was my mind. There was no world. There were no characters. And none of it really happened. There was just pure consciousness, pure beingness. Awareness of sensations. That's all there was. That's all this is. It's just pure awareness, pure consciousness, perceiving finite sensations that appear and disappear. And just like the love story or the idea of being all alone, being singular, how can you experience yourself? You wouldn't appear to exist. But by projecting yourself, imagining yourself as an object of awareness, you can experience, you can perceive, you can have something to be aware of. You'd have to have something to be aware of to experience. And so you, as pure singular awareness, are projecting yourself as these objects, dreaming yourself as this objective experience, which it's still infinite awareness. Everything is yourself, just like the dream at night. When you wake up from the dream and you realize, wow, there was nothing separate from me. It was all me. It was all a projection in my mind. It was just the content of experience of the object of experience appearing in me as pure awareness. And so all there is you as the infinite, is the absolute, is pure awareness. And you can't attain that because you can only be that. You can only be that already. Try to not be. That's all there is. It's so simple. And there's no path. It's too close for a path because it already is. It's like to make a path or a practice. I mean, it's totally futile. It can't not be itself already. So it's almost like you turn around and look at yourself and you're like, oh wow, when I was looking for myself, it was pretending to hide myself by being aware of the busyness of looking. But what I was looking for was the awareness that's aware of the looking. So it's like so waking up is not the character doesn't wake up. Consciousness sees itself. You turn around and look at yourself. You already are yourself. So it's just being, which you can't not be. So there's no path. It's just immediate already, right now. Pure being. And just sink into that. Pure being. And notice when you sink into that pure being that you are, that is everything, including thoughts and sensations. That there's just pure silence. And you can see how this that you are is the substratum from which thoughts and sensations and all the hallucinations of the world and characters appear and disappear. And notice that all the thoughts, sensations, emotions, feelings, the character that you thought you were, the appearances, they're all transient, they're all temporary. It comes and goes in this field of awareness that you are. So what's being looked for is the one looking, which includes the looking. So you can only be all there is. So there's nothing to get, there's nothing to attain. You already are. So playfully, pure awareness, singularity, like in deep sleep where you're not aware of something, there's no object of experience, there's no object of awareness to be aware of. There's just pure singularity, pure awareness. And then you project yourself, you dream yourself as these objects of awareness to experience, to be aware of something, to experience playfully, novelty. And then as pure awareness, you get lost in the objects of awareness that you're projecting yourself as, dreaming, you know. So then there's identifying as the object, identifying as, which is all mental. All objects are mental. Everything's a mentation. There's nothing physical. So it's still infinite awareness. Everything is. But then there's this locking on to the object of attention, the avatar, or the thoughts. And then it makes the dream appear real. It makes it appear separate. So it's like you are the eternal subjectivity, the pure field of experiencing, the infinite awareness, but then locking on to, like looking in the VR headset, locking on to the identity of being the avatar in the headset, forgetting that you're the one wearing the headset, the mind behind it that's dreaming it, or, you know, the infinite awareness. And so then locking on to the identity of the finite object, the one that appears and disappears, that's transient, that's not always there. Then can playfully appear to look for itself as the one wearing the headset, as the one dreaming, as the one that's aware of the looking, when it's as simple as you already are the pure awareness. There is nothing to look for. So then there's this sudden recognition of, wow, I'm not what I thought I was. Consciousness sees itself. It's like, I'm not the finite sensation, the avatar that appears and disappears. I'm not the transient sensations. I'm the pure infinite awareness that's projecting it, that's aware. And it makes sense that looking for it appears to cover it up, you know, because it's pure awareness being distracted by the object of awareness, of looking for something, for an object, when you are the eternal subjectivity, the pure awareness that's aware of the looking. So it gets distracted in the looking, forgets that it's the one experiencing the looking, the one aware of the looking. But it's just too easy. It's too already. So then there's like a moment of not looking, or and then it's obvious that you already are. So the looking is the game of hide and seek. And then when you stop looking, you find yourself, because you already are. You already are it. You already are what you're looking for. It's so interesting. So with the analogy of words and you know, conceptual pointing or looking at this, the pure awareness is the I, is the pure I. This pure beingness, this pure presence. And everyone already knows that they are. They can't deny that. If you ask someone, are you aware? They say, yes, I am. And pure I am, has no body, has no form, is infinite. This pure substratum from which everything appears and disappears. And that's what you are, this pure bodiless, formless presence, beingness, awareness, giving rise to thoughts, giving rise to these sensations. And then when getting lost, distracted or, forgetting yourself is this pure substratum. There's I am, fill in the blank. I am the body. I am sad. I am in pain. And if you really examine this, if you just back up all the way to what's experiencing this, you see yourself. And that's all there is. And that can't be separate. All there is the one experiencing this. And that is real. And that is existence itself, giving rise to whatever it's aware of. Imagining this, dreaming this. So there's just resting in yourself, relaxing, just pure being. From which thoughts appear, characters appear, worlds appear, pain and pleasure appear, sensations appear. So there's just pure experiencing. And when you really dissect this and examine, put it under the microscope and investigate, this reveals itself to itself. What is always here? What is always present? What never leaves me? Because you can notice all the sensations appear and disappear. They're temporary, they're transient, like drawing in water. It appears and disappears. Even this morning was a dream. 2 minutes ago was a dream. It's all a dream. It was all unreliable. It all appeared and disappeared. But what's always here? So when you really get naked with the pure being that you are, and you take away all of these layers or coverings of thoughts, sensations, everything that comes and goes, the feelings, the emotions, the character, because even the character appears and disappears. Where does it go in deep sleep? It appears and disappears throughout the day and might go unnoticed. The imagination fills in the gaps and just assumes that it's always there. So, what is it that can't be removed from my experience? What is it that doesn't appear and disappear? What is it that is never gone, always remains the same? What is it that's experiencing this? What is it that's not an object of experience? What is it without a thought? You see yourself as the absolute. It answers itself. It is itself. And that's all there is. It's like a direct experience of itself. You see yourself as the absolute. And all of those questions don't have an answer because what you are precedes the question. What you are is non conceptual. There's just pure being. So take away the relationships, the perceptions, the feelings, the sensations, the sensation of a body. Take away the thoughts, the character, the qualities, the appearances, and what's left? You are. Infinite awareness. And there's no labeling it that. There's just pure silence, pure aliveness, this spaciousness, this infinite intelligence that can't be separate. There is no path. Awareness is so close to itself by already being itself. It is itself, all alone. So there's no path. You can only be. A path would just be you as pure awareness paying attention to an objective experience of a path. It would just be projecting out or attention outward and dreaming or being aware of sensations. Just like the analogy of the VR headset. When you're wearing the VR headset, it's obvious you're not the avatar in the headset. And the avatar can't be aware of you, you know? You're not the avatar, you're the awareness giving rise to the avatar, giving rise to the world in the VR headset, the virtual reality. And so if you examine that analogy, what's really happening? There's just one mind behind the headset, giving rise to what's appearing in the headset, in perceiving the finite sensations that are elicited by being aware of what's in the headset. So all there is one consciousness perceiving sensations, tasting finite sensations. That's all there is. Which is the same as the dream at night. What is really happening in the dream at night? There's just feeling sensations. There's just perceiving finite temporal mentations. There's just one mind projecting an illusory reality, perceiving it, tasting it. And then you wake up from the dream and realize you weren't the character in the dream. You weren't even in the dream. You were the one mind projecting the dream. You were the one dreaming it. You were the field of experiencing the. There was just consciousness. You just back up all the way, and there was just awareness of being. And when there was, in when the dream was appearing to happen, it appeared real. It appeared that awareness localized itself as the object. And then there was waking up and realizing, wow, that was just a dream. It didn't even happen. So it's like awareness sees itself, like consciousness recognizes itself And then it shakes you out. And you're like, wow, I wasn't the character. I'm not the character. I'm not the. There is no character. There is no form. I'm just consciousness dreaming this. And none of it's really happening. I don't even have a body. I'm not even in the body. I don't even need a body. I'm what remains when the body appears to disappear and reappear in the dream. I'm what always remains. I'm that which never changes. I'm that which can't be removed. What's always present, what's always here, timelessly. And where did everything go? That whole life that I thought I lived, it even looks dreamlike in the as a memory. It's just foggy. It didn't even happen. I'm this empty potential from which everything appears and disappears. This infinite awareness, this screen of awareness, from which all of these transient objects of awareness appear and disappear within me. And all there is awareness, singularity. So a path would be awareness looking for itself somewhere else that doesn't exist, instead of just being. So then it's becomes aware of itself. And then you realize, wow, there was no one to wake up from the dream. I was it all along. I just got distracted and entangled with the objects of experience that I was projecting, that I was dreaming, that I was imagining. I was getting distracted and lost in the thoughts, the sensations, the appearances. I was losing myself in my own dream and my own hallucination. And I never went anywhere. I was there all along. The awareness of all the finite sensations, the awareness of the longing, the seeking. I was it all along, projecting myself as those sensations of seeking and longing and looking, and I was the one I was looking for. And so then there's the tantric quality of this all inclusive. Oh my gosh. Just like the dream at night when you wake up from your dream and you're like, who was in the dream? Were there separate characters in the dream? Were there separate bodies? Was there a separate world? No, it was all me. It was all a projection of my mind. How could it be separate from me? I am pervading everything. I am permeating. I am everything. I am no thing. It was all mind. It was all a mental projection. It wasn't real. It wasn't. It's all me. So it's all the thoughts, it's all the sensations, it's all the appearances, it's the pain, it's the pleasure, it's the whatever's being felt right now is the infinite tasting itself as an object of experience. So is the substratum of experience appearing as the object of experience. It's all of it. It's everything. It's the love and joy of being. It loves to dream. It loves to experience itself as everything. The dream is a projection of your mind. The dream characters and the world are you dreaming, are your mind. So who is there to convince but yourself? And everything's just a thought. What is there without a thought? So awareness is always aware of something, always. This experiential field is just infinitely aware. Just like that analogy of the dog and the squirrel. Squirrel, it's just like so a thought arises, and awareness is aware of the thought and can easily get lost in the thought, you know, kind of like sitting in the movie theater. You're not in the movie. You're sitting there with your popcorn watching the movie, being entertained by it. And then all of a sudden, you're emotionally involved. You're the character on the screen, and everything that's happening in the movies appears real. It's like getting lost in the movie. It's like, and it's so innocent. It's just beautiful. It's all of it. It's getting lost in it. It's realizing it's not it. It's every bit of it. It's tasting itself as everything, every sensation, and then realizing itself as that pure silence, that pure substratum from which all sensations appear and disappear. So then you realize I can't be the finite sensation. I'm the infinite. Appearing is the sensation. I'm the infinite from which the finite appears and disappears within me. Tasting myself as a finite sensation. How else could you experience yourself if you're singular? I mean, even logically, all alone, you wouldn't appear to exist. But by projecting yourself as two, you can experience yourself as one, projecting an object of experience, something to taste, something to know. Yet you are the pure knowing, the pure field of experiencing immediately. Pure being, pure, too intimate to even talk about. Immediate. And it's so funny because what is any of this without a thought when there's just, without a thought, there's no distinguishing this or that. There's no time, there's no separation, there's just direct experiencing of what you are as the pure beingness from which thoughts appear. And how do you know without a thought that you're a body or a character? In that gap between thoughts. It's too obvious. What's always there? What's always this timelessly? What is there in between one sensation and the next? It's the same as asking the question, am I aware? Boom. Direct experience. You see yourself as the absolute, the infinite, from which everything appears and disappears, permeating. And that's all there is that beautiful emptiness, that beautiful empty potential that everything is. No separation. So even if there's a temporal mentation or a sensation of the thought, I'm separate, what is it that's experiencing that? That which is experiencing it is the absolute that can't be separate. It's permanent, that never leaves you, that is you, that doesn't have a body, that doesn't have a form, that never changes. So then these beautiful little playful thoughts appear and disappear within you, and they can't appear without you being aware of them. You're the source. And it has no power. And it's so beautiful because intimately, even if that thought arises, I'm separate, or there's this sensation of resistance, if you feel it completely, being aware of it, you watch it dissolve within you, you swallow it, you integrate it. And then there's nothing to resist. It's just all coming up to come home. So by being aware of the sensation, you see yourself as the absolute. Even the sensation is not separate. This is one immutable energy. If I'm one with what I'm resisting, what is there to resist? Pure being. Feeling is being. If I feel it completely, without resistance, I just drown myself in it. So intimate that it's too intimate for words. Then what is separate from me? And just like the dream at night, when you wake up from the dream and you realize there was nothing separate in the dream, it was all me. It was all me. My mind, it's all a projection of my mind. I was the only one there. It was just consciousness, being. Then what could be harmful? How could the thought be harmful? How could anything be harmful? It's all God. So you can only be this. Which can't be attained because you already are it. Yay. Mwah. Love you. Big hugs.